Coming up on AI in the classroom, conversational agent.
Hi, my name is Guy Trainin, a professor at UNL.
And I'm Williams, a grad student at UNL as well.
And today we're talking about conversational agents. And conversational agents are ways to have a conversation with an AI. And this is part of the wave of what might be coming into education. So we're taking a look at what does it feel. And I do want to point out that some of the conversations that we are having with AIs, because it's trying to pretend to be human, feels a little bit creepy. I have to admit, the first time I looked at Sesame AI, I felt a little bit something, and I still do when I use it, but it is important for us to look at it and think about what are potential uses. But let's do a short demo. We'll try Miles, and Miles will listen to Williams and then talk back.
Well, hello again there.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd connect again soon. You didn't vanish before I could tell you how much I enjoyed our last chat.
Yeah, I'm Williams. Can you tell me the educational situation about information technology in Ghana?
Williams, great to hear from you again. Information technology or education in Ghana is super interesting. It's a booming field there. A lot of colleges and universities are beefing up their IT programs, and there are even some specialized tech schools popping them. They're really focusing things like software development, cybersecurity, and data science. So all super relevant stuff for today's world, you know? What sparked your interest in Ghana's tech scene?
Yeah, I want specifically on elementary schools. Do they have enough training in IT?
That's a really good question, Williams. Unfortunately, that's where things get a bit trickier. While higher education is catching up, getting solid IT training in elementary schools in Ghana is still a work in progress. They're making strides for sure, with some schools getting computers and basic tech classes, but it's not universal yet. There's a lot of passionate people working to change that, though. Do you have a specific school in mind, or was it more of a general curiosity about the situation there? Maybe in some personal connection to Ghana?
Yeah, so...
No worries if you better not say it. It's cool either way. So, any guesses on what the kids' favorite subject is over there?
Do they do programming in the elementary schools in Ghana? Do you have an idea of that?
You know, programming in the elementary schools is still pretty new in a lot of places, Ghana included. I wouldn't say it's widespread yet, but there are definitely some pockets of innovation. There are some amazing organizations trying to introduce coding to kids at a young age, and I bet some forward-thinking schools are incorporating it into their curriculum. It's super empowering stuff.
All right.
All right, thank you.
So when you end the call, a few things are happening. You got to sense that it does listen to you, but it also sometimes misses some of the nuance in what's being said. And sometimes the wait time is a little bit, it's very Americanized in that it's trying to fill up dead air. So if there's a wait time, it immediately tries to prompt you a little bit further, which I find a little bit challenging. But one of the things that you can do at the end of playing, this is Sesame AI. This is not the only conversational agent out there, but it's one that you can try out for free without signing up for anything, without committing to anything. So I like it for that reason. And you can download the clip and kind of use that in any way that you deem possible. How did that conversation make you feel?
Yeah, it's great, and this is very useful in our classrooms when we have visually impaired students with us, and they normally use their auditory senses in learning. So this is very great improvement that teachers can use in their classroom on a daily basis for people who use their auditories to learn.
Yeah.
And so it's
the other thing that came up as we were discussing this is if you're teaching English, so if your students are practicing a foreign language, in this case, we were doing this in English, but it is available in other languages, you can actually have conversations or practice conversations with the computer, which means that idea of the affective filter that prevents students from trying out or being brave enough to talk with other people or in front of other people for fear of making mistakes. When it's with the computer, it's so much easier. What else did it make you think about? How did you think about the way it responded to your questions?
Yeah, it did a great job. It did a great job by explaining, but sometimes it wants to get some more information from you, and it's saying that, oh, in Ghana, the educational system is not that developed in the basic school, but you go there and there are a lot of developments going on there. So maybe it's not aware of what is going on there. So
yeah, and so it's very clear that at least this conversational agent seems to have very generalized information. And every time you try to ask it about specifics, it was saying things in general, like a lot of schools in a lot of countries are not doing a lot with information technology. So it's not giving you exactly an answer to what you're looking for. But I think that it is interesting how he tries to draw you into the conversation and say, okay, why are you asking about Ghana, right? It asked that question. Why are you asking about Ghana? Do you have a personal connection to Ghana? And so it's really interesting how it's doing that. And that would be very much a human thing, right? Wanting to know what your motivation is.
sure.
So in conclusion, conversational agents are coming, right? They are actually here, right? And they're going to be deployed more and more. A few things to think about. One is you want to play with one because you want to know what it can and can't do right now. Just remember, what it can and can't do right now is not what it would be able to do in about 6 months, right? These things are moving all the time. The second thing is that it is very good at carrying a conversation. It listens to you, it responds. It's not always great. We are thinking about two main uses right now for these conversational agents. One is, as William said, if you've got a student with disabilities, here's a way to jump over the need to read the information, and it actually reads it to you in a very conversational tone, or not reads, but tells you about it, and you can prompt it again without typing and having to deal with all of that. So that's really interesting. And the second one was, of course, in learning language, just having a natural conversation without the threat of, not the threat, but the perceived threat of somebody criticizing you or laughing at you and all of those things. All right, so today on AI in the Classroom, we talked about conversational agents, and we'll see you next time.